Welcome to episode 21 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull KR Shirts, and today I'm going to take a look at the 2008 home shirt. The 2008 home shirt is a naturally white shirt with a red band. In addition to the red band, we also have some red piping which kind of goes above and below the red band. It gives us that traditional look of having a white shirt with a red band, but the addition of the red beading just kind of gives it that little bit of a different look to some shirts that have come before it. This beading continues up the top to give it that kind of raglan sleeve effect, and the collar is in a style of a grandad collar with then a little bit of a placket down here with one button in. Now the 2008 shirts, the replicas that were sold in the club shop and the shirts that the players wore were exactly the same. The only difference was there was some reinforced stitching on the placket here, which stopped the shirts ripping in contact. Just kind of gave the shirts a little bit more longevity. As we know, a player may only get maybe 2 or 3 shirts to last them a full season. So it's important that they are constructed well so that they are durable for that full season. The shirt itself was the last of the cotton styled shirts. So from 2009 onwards, the performance shirts that the players wore were very different to the shirts that were bought in the club shop. So this one was the last of the heavy cotton styled shirts. You'll notice that the club badge is embroidered, again, like it is on all replicas, even in the modern day. All of the stitching here is also, the sponsors, sorry, are also stitched. So your Parasol and your Carlotti, your Lloyd's TSB, all of this is stitched into the fabric. Whereas usually we see nowadays it's all submulated in. So that's kind of a different look, really. You know, it kind of takes us back to sort of the end of an era, really, where all of this stitching did sort of cease to exist on these shirts, and it switched to a more sort of performance style shirt. So flipping it around to the sides here, we have the 2 stripes coming down here. Again, these are stitched in. We have the Parasol branding, which again is a stitched on patch, and then we have the Engage Super League badges. Now these are heat bonded on, and because they've been heat bonded over a stitched stripe, it's actually caused the patch to split. So you can see there's a clear split in all of the different points here, which kind of form a weird look, really. Now I'm surprised that the sleeve patch is still attached to the shirt, but this added damage to me kind of gives me more indications that this shirt has been worn. Now I have been fortunate enough to photo match this shirt to a known game, so I do know it has been worn, but these signs are great to kind of give me a bit of an indication of whether a shirt has or hasn't been worn. So as I flip this round to the back, you will see that this shirt was worn by Michael Dobson. So Michael Dobson joined Hull KR partway through the 2008 season, hence why he wore number 26. Obviously we've become accustomed to now our scrum halves wearing number 7, and during the 2008 season that number was allocated to James Webster. So when Dobson joined the club, he would have taken the lowest available number, which was 26 at the time, and this shirt was worn during his first season at the club. Now, I've been able to photo match this shirt to a known game. That known game is the Harlequins game, at Craven Park in May of 2008. Now, what's interesting about that fixture is that Dobson scored 2 tries in that game, but it was also his debut for Hull KR. So this shirt was his debut shirt. So to me, that's a very, very good shirt to have within my collection. He's been a fantastic servant to the club from 2008 all the way through to 2013. He made over 150 appearances for Rovers. He kicked over 500 goals and scored about 50 tries. So that, you know, he goes down as a legend of our great club, in my opinion, at least. And I'm sure that a lot of people would agree with me. Going back to the shirt again, so the stitching across here, this Lloyd's TSB and their Lloyd's TSB logo is all stitched into the shirt. So again, that's kind of being defunct nowadays. We don't have that stitching on a player shirt, but back in 2008, like I say, it was the last year that we saw that feature. So spinning this back around again, so yeah, absolutely over the moon to have this shirt within my collection. Dobson, like I say, you know, he was the player that when I first started attending in 2009, as I've said before, I was a late bloomer to the world of rugby league, but he was a player who got me into the game, you know, who excited me when I was watching him play. And I do have one of his shirts already, but to have his first season shirt and it turning out to be his debut shirt, it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm now on the lookout for pictures from the game against the Wigan Warriors when he scored 4 tries. So I've got everything crossed that this was that one in that game as well. But time will tell on that one as I come across some more pictures. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video today. If you'd like to see me cover anything in specific, please reach out via email, comment on YouTube, or just drop me a message on any of my social media platforms, and I'll be happy to make that happen. And I'll be back in a couple of weeks with episode 22. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.